Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock with you as we talk some Fort Hays State football with head coach Chris Brown. We're at Horizon Appliance, Electronics, and Mattress. Jacob Mazzara throws on first down to Harley Hazlett. Hazlett into the clear at the 35, turns the Jets to the 40, breaks a tackle in midfield. Here he goes. 10-5. It is a touchdown on the first play of the game. 6-0.
It's time for Tiger Talk on the Tiger Sports Network. Presented by Horizon Appliance and Mattress. The lowest prices on kitchen and laundry appliances, Traeger grills, and accessories. And most importantly, mattresses. Open 7 days a week at 1501 East 27th in Hays. Horizon Appliance and Mattress. Tiger Talk is also brought to you by these premier Tiger sponsors. Golden Belt Bank of Hays and Ellis. The Hays Med Orthopedic Institute, part of the University of Kansas Health System. The Certified Public Accountants of Adams, Brown, Barron, and Ball. BTI, The Taco Shop, G&L Tire and Automotive.
And a good Monday, and welcome into Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock with you as we talk a little Fort Hays State football. Tigers coming off their first win of the year. A nice one Saturday afternoon at Yager Stadium in Topeka, knocking off the Washburn Ichabods in overtime, 41-38. We're going to mix up the program a little bit today. We're going to talk to the two coordinators, Jeff Bryan on the offensive side and Cooper Harris on the defensive side, with us for the program here today. But certainly picked a good day to be on the show after the first win of the year. Boy, what a thrilling game. Dante Brown with a 24-yard field goal as time expired. That forced overtime. He then hit the 30-yarder and the game winner in the overtime to give the Tigers the 3-point win. Starting quarterback Chance Fuller knocked out of the game with a vicious sack in the fourth quarter. Tigers had to go to their backup, Bashawn Waiters, and played well, engineered that game-tying drive. At the end of the game, a 15-play, 68-yard drive. It set up the Brown field goal to force overtime, and then the Tigers go on and win it. Fuller had a good day up to that point, 23-31, 271 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Waiters went 8 for 13 for 62 yards, and also had 5 carries for 13 yards. Big day for Charles Tigner, 27 carries, 125 yards, and Harley Hazlett, 9 catches for 105 and 2 TDs. Also carried the ball 5 times for 29. And Lane Bieberly, another solid day, 6 catches, 77 yards. He continues to move up the all-time list for receivers at Fort Hays State. And 3 interceptions by the Tiger defense. Jordan Starks, Tanner Hookman, and a big one in overtime from Isaiah Krill-Musgrave. We'll talk all about that and more as we move along in the program today. It is brought to you by Horizon Appliance and Mattress. You'll find the lowest prices on kitchen and laundry appliances, Traeger grills, and, of course, all the mattresses. They're at 1501 East 27th in Hays. We're back in the Traeger grill section again today. Either they liked what we said about it last week, or they found a spot where we can be avoided by the rest of the general public when they come in here. But we're in the Traeger grill section. They're grilling up some great pulled pork for us today. We're told the wings last week were phenomenal on the Traeger grill, which they have a bunch of different styles, makes and models, if you will. All of the wood pellets, many different varieties of wood pellets, plus all the accessories that you're going to need, the spices, the rubs, anything, the sauces. They have it all here. Your Traeger Grill headquarters at Horizon Appliance and Mattress, 1501 East 27th in Hays. We're going to take our first break. We're going to talk with offensive coordinator Jeff Bryan as we continue along here on Tiger Talk on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wertenberger Construction.
I'm Patty Stoll, broker-owner of Coldwell Banker Executive Realty. We want your dreams to become a reality. Coldwell Banker Executive Realty prides itself in putting you first.
Two receivers right, one left. Schurig to throw, has time, looks for the home run ball. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Starks. Hurdles a Washburn defender. Now a flag comes out as Starks stumbles across the 25 and up to the 28. Fort Hays State with their first interception of the year. They had 4 takeaways against Washburn a year ago. They get their first interception of the season, and it ends a Washburn drive, and Fort Hays State will have the football after the turnover and a stop on 4th down. Yeah, well, one of the 3 interceptions by the Tigers on Saturday in Topeka as they go on to knock off Washburn 41-38 in overtime. Welcome back to Tiger Talk. We're at Horizon Appliance in Mattress in Hays, and as we said in the opening segment, we're joined by the coordinators today. We'll hear from defensive coordinator Cooper Harris a little bit later in the program. Right now we have offensive coordinator Jeff Bryant with us, and congratulations. You picked a good day to be on the program, coming off the first win of the year, and I guess let's just start there. Felt good to leave a stadium with a win, and irregardless how it got kind of dicey there at the end, the bottom line, a win is a win, and that was a nice one to get.
No doubt. The first couple weeks were a little hard on everybody in our program. It's not the start that we really expected to have in 2019, but we battled, we found a way to win, and coming out of Washburn, a place that we haven't had much success with, it was a good deal for us.
Yeah, 1987, last time the Tigers had won in Topeka, and that was by forfeit. The last time they actually left the field with a win, 1985. So that kind of puts in perspective, ending a 9-game losing streak. And by and large, thought the team played pretty well. It just kind of felt, and I know Coach Brown mentioned it a lot last week about, forget about championship, forget about all those things. Just go out there and play football. And it felt like maybe for the first time this team played stress-free. They just went out there, did their thing, played hard. It wasn't a perfect game, but they just went out and played football, and it was good enough to get a win.
No, we, and I can only speak for the offense, but you felt like we're searching for answers. Maybe some guys were trying to do too much. Maybe position groups were trying to do too much, and we just wanted to relax and play. We wanted to do the things. The reason why we were playing college football in the first place is because you like the game, and we didn't try to get kids to try to do too much, and really we scaled back a lot of the things that we were doing to get kids to play fast, confident, and to be able just to make plays. And we felt like it really helped us.
75.5 yards per game rushing the ball in the first 2 weeks. I know that's Fort Hays State-like, certainly what you guys like to do. You ran for 161 on Saturday. Obviously, that was a great change of events, and it seemed like you got a little bit more creative in how you establish the run game. It doesn't always just have to be a handoff to the tailback. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. You got Harley involved early, and it seemed to loosen things up, and that was a big factor in the win, was being able to run the football the way you did.
No, after Missouri Western, we had to kind of just go back to the drawing boards and kind of figure out ways to be a little bit more creative running the ball. We're not ever going to be, with Chance and Jacob last year. We're never going to be an offense where we're going to have or ask our quarterback to do a bunch running the ball. So we have to do more with what we got. But with that being said, it's not just on Charles or to Corey or DJ Hickman. Like, our tight ends had to play better, our offensive line had to play better, and I think collectively, looking each other in the mirror and doing all those things, I just think they played better.
Yeah, I think it's a good point, because it felt like the pass protection had been pretty decent by and large up to that point, but obviously up front blocking for the run is a little bit different beast, and just seemed like the holes were better. And I thought the running backs, Charles and Takori and whoever had it, a good balance of being patient but then hitting the hole hard. Didn't see that dancing around, so when the crease was there, they had it, and a lot more positive plays. I think Charles had as many 10-yard runs in that game as he had all season. A lot more positive play, especially early in possessions, early in series. That made a huge difference.
Yeah, sometimes you can get sometimes in the scheme of the game, you get lost in the details, mm-hmm. right? You get lost in the things that make plays successful. And I think that goes on with what we were trying to do when we talk about doing too much. I think he was trying to, Charles has been around for a long time, and I think he just felt burdened by trying to do too much and running the football instead of just doing what's asked of you.
And he's such a valuable asset, especially, and you saw a few possessions or series, you lined him up as a wide receiver, and obviously has a lot of experience there. But a guy, if you get him the ball in space, I mean, you make that one-man miss, and that could go a long ways. He's so good in the open field if you can just get him there.
No, I mean, he's he feels like he's been around for 1,000 years.
It does.
Right? It really has. And, he has a low center of gravity. He's hard to bring down. And hopefully we're looking to build off of this and take it to Missouri Southern with kind of the same kind of a plan.
Got to ask you about Chance Fuller. Was playing well, then obviously that vicious sack, and he goes down early in the fourth quarter. Any update on him, on his status? Because that was obviously a rather ferocious tackle that he had to absorb.
No doubt. He's in our training staff's concussion protocol. We talked to him this morning. He's making the proper steps to be ready. But that does, we're going to get Vashawn ready to go. We're going to get Trey McJunkin ready to go, and we're going to figure out a way to win. But chances, his spirits are high. He's a competitive kid. We expect him to do everything that's necessary to be ready to go. But that's kind of out of our hands.
Did something change? Because first quarter was okay. But it seemed like from that second quarter on, with some of the best football he's played, he was making quick decisions, good decisions, throwing the ball in tight spots, and receivers were catching it at second and third. And until he went out in the fourth quarter, maybe some of his best football, at least it looked like to us.
No, at the end of the game, I knew I knew while we're in the moment, Chance was playing really well. From the sideline and the conversations that we have between series, he knew exactly what was going on. Lane Bieberly, Harley, Manny Ramsey, Andrew J., Hunter Butke, they all came to play.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times throwing the football, it's just not on the quarterback. It's about, all those guys being on the same page. And, it's not hard for us to figure out, like, when our kids are hitting on all cylinders. And, we felt like that. We had a good game plan going into the game, and they executed it.
It was good to see, because it felt like the Western game, maybe that wasn't the case, and a couple of guys just kind of disappeared in the game, which made it difficult. But it was good to see really all of that receiving core, which has so much talent, contributed in one way for that win.
No, when they're all playing, and I'm not just talking about the receivers and the quarterback, but when all 11 guys are on the field, calling offensive plays are so easy. It really is. It's the easiest job, in the world. But at the same time, if it's not clicking on all cylinders, and it's the worst job in the world, right? And so, they made it easy on me on Saturday, and we came out with a win.
Tigers do get the win in overtime, 41-38. We'll talk more about that and take a preview look at a much improved Missouri Southern squad as we move along. We are at Horizon Appliance and Mattress. They've got the lowest prices on kitchen and laundry appliances, Traeger grills, and of course the mattresses, all at 1501 East 27th. We're again in the Traeger grill section. They're again cooking up some great food for us to eat after the program on the Traeger grills. They've got all the accessories, the rubs, the sauces, anything you might need, cleaning supplies, and of course a large assortment of grills and an even larger assortment of all of the wood pellets that you need to make your next barbecue and maybe your next tailgate for this Saturday at Lewis Field even better. Stop on by this week here at Horizon Appliance and Mattress. They're open 7 days a week at 1501 East 27th in Hayes. We'll take another break. Back with more with offensive coordinator Jeff Bryant here on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wurtenberger Construction.
Ready to discover something new? The next time you're in your car, tune your radio to 94.3 FM.
It's here.
It's Hayes' greatest hits.
Love it.
On 1400 KAYS and 94.3 FM.
94.3 FM, KAYS. Go ahead, check us out.
Here's Fuller to throw, rolls right, being chased, throws late. Jacoby Williams open, touchdown! Fort Hays State. Jacoby's third career touchdown catch. He was the third option, but he was wide open to the goal line, and Fuller found him. And it's 13-7, Fort Hays State. Yeah, part of that good start on Saturday for Fort Hays State. They actually had a 2-touchdown lead going to the fourth quarter, gave it away, but came back to tie it at the end of regulation and win it in overtime, 41-38 over Washburn. Welcome back to Tiger Talk at Horizon Appliance and Mattress. Jacoby doesn't look like the quarterback he was when he came here. He's kind of got that tight end weight, but a little bit more athletic than maybe you remember. And that was a great catch. He was open. He's got pretty good hands, and obviously no Matt Wendelberger on Saturday and maybe out for a little while. So a guy like Jacoby, and we saw Hunter Budke make a touchdown catch. A tight end sometimes is forgotten, but you guys really utilize him a lot in your game plans every week.
No, like we always try to find ways to get guys the football. And that's one thing I'll always say about Jacoby. He'll never be afraid of the moment. Even last year, Washburn 2018, he caught a big clutch touchdown in the end zone. He caught a big third down conversion last year against Washburn. Like, Jacoby has never been afraid of the moment, and he never lets it overwhelm him.
Can I ask you about Vashawn Waiters, obviously, and you kind of touched on him. He had to come in when Chance went down. Tough situation, and felt like it took a couple of possessions to get in the flow, and obviously he's a different style quarterback. But to engineer that drive at the end of regulation, a 15-play, 68-yard drive, had a big third down conversion, had an even bigger fourth down conversion on a pass to Charles Tigner at midfield. Had a good run to get you close. For a guy who hadn't played for you yet this year, showed a lot of moxie. That was not as easy as at times he made it appear. That was pretty gutsy performance by Vashawn.
No, like I was watching the game yesterday morning. I was just getting goosebumps watching the sequences of the plays and the fourth down, the third down, the clutch throw to Beebs down on our sideline. It was a hell of a job. I mean, and I think, if we would have, came short, I don't think anybody would have blamed him for it, because that moment's hard. And, he was able to do it. He made good decisions. He made smart decisions. He scrambled. He extended plays. He did everything that you look for in a bona fide quarterback to do in a clutch situation. And he came out, and, and there's obviously going to be some things that he needs to clean up, because there was a walk-in touchdown that where it would not even have sent it at overtime. He just kind of settled down a little bit, but I thought he did a hell of a job, and I'm so proud of him. But now it's on to Missouri Southern, right?
Yeah, no doubt about that. And he's a little bit different guy. I mean, I'm curious how maybe if he's the guy who ends up going, how that changes your game plan. I mean, he's 200-plus pounds, big guy, hard to bring down, can maybe run. I mean, he's not going to outrun anybody, but he may run over a couple of people. I mean, he's obviously a completely different style of quarterback, but yet showed he's got a good arm and can make some big throws.
No, there's definitely some things that he probably does that probably Chance doesn't do. You can definitely run him. He's a big, thick, well-built kid. Like, I think he could play, if he wasn't quarterback, he'd be, he could definitely do something with the ball in his hands.
Well, he certainly showed him. We'll see if he's the guy who ends up going on Saturday against Missouri Southern, but certainly shined in his first Tiger moment to help lead Fort Hays State to the win. And then Dante Brown, two big field goals. He missed that 56-yarders, two misses this year from 49 and 56, and both were close. But even though they appeared to be chip shots, anytime it's the game on the line, those are high-pressure situations, and came through with the game-tying one, and then he came through with the game winner. Did that at Kearney a year ago, and he comes through again today. It's nice to have a guy like that, in your hip pocket, that if you just need three, you got a guy you feel pretty confident is going to go out and get him.
No, I think Dante, I think sometimes, and hopefully we don't take him for granted, but you just kind of expect him to do those things. Like, and you watch college football on Saturday, NFL football on Sunday, and those things aren't like gimmies, right? There's a bunch of games won or lost by somebody missing a field goal. And, I just, tip my cap to him, because, again, that moment is not easy, and you can't replicate that in practice. So, heck of a job by him.
And give credit to Andrew J. the holder and Alex Van Pelt, the long snapper. Sometimes they're the forgotten cogs in that, but it takes, in that situation, and obviously all the protection, but a good snap and a good hold to finish it all off. And now Dante with those 2 field goals, he's number 2 all-time in career field goals made, just 3 behind Wes Simoneau, who, of course, had a great career both in football and basketball at Fort Hays State. You kind of touched on it on the Missouri Southern this week. Obviously, they've been the doormat of the MIAA for quite a while, but not so much anymore. I know they're 1-2. Jeff Sims, their new head coach, a lot of folks may know him from his appearances on Last Chance U the last couple of years at Garden City Community College, but he won a national championship there, and it's kind of like Garden City Community College 2.0. I think there's 15 or 17 former Broncbusters on that team, and even though they're just 1-2, you can just see it when you watch them on video. Much different team. They've got some players on that squad. It's going to be a challenge Saturday.
No, their entire roster's revamped. I mean, I don't think they have 20 kids that were on last year's team. Everybody's either a Garden City kid, a junior college kid, a Division I transfer, and they're just, they're getting better every week. They're getting their legs. They're getting more comfortable in what their coaches are asking them to do, and it's going to be a challenge. Like, we got to come out, we got to play well. Athletically, they're going to be near the top of our conference, and so we just got to be ready to play.
Your team, I would think, confidence-wise on the offensive side of the ball, starting up front with the guys you coach every day, the offensive line. This win had to, I would think, do wonders for that. And as you kind of touched on, something to build off of. But take what they did and then just try to take it a step forward this week if you can, because you're going to have to.
No doubt. And I think a lot of times, like, you can, you want them to be confident, but then you also at the same time want them to understand that, like, you still, like, you win on Saturday is on because of what you do to prepare. And it's not anybody telling you did a good job. It's not anybody telling you, you're the best or whatever. And, you gotta prepare the same way, and you got to be ready to play, because Missouri Southern is going to come to Hays on Saturday, and they're going to try to win the game. And so we got to make sure we're doing everything that we can to make sure that doesn't happen, and we play our style of football.
I know the offensive line was thought to be one of the strengths this year, and maybe it started a little bit slower, but obviously had to rest game Saturday. The fact, 2 are coming off of injury, didn't play most of last year. 2 new guys. It seems like offensive line's a position. There's a lot of feel to it. Just trusting the guy next to you when you come off blocks and other things. Does it feel like they're become more of a cohesive unit? And is that some of the reasons they're playing a little bit better each time out?
I think so. I think playing in a live game and playing in practice is definitely an escalation. And I think you kind of got to do some things to kind of get yourself ready for it. A bunch of guys have been playing better. We got to continue to keep getting better every week, because there's no secret sauce to winning games. You got to be more physical than the other team.
And that's one thing Coach Brown said after the game. Thought it was both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, the most physical game the Tigers have played this year. And that's kind of become the MO for Fort Hays State football. I mean, they're usually the most physical team out there, and hopefully that was a good step to getting back to that way.
No doubt. I mean, you can go back, and the more physical teams will beat the more talented teams any day of the week. And even though there might be some times where on their offensive line, we have more talent this year than in years past, a more physical team will win every single week. And that's kind of what we've built Fort Hays on the last few years. And, and we're gonna continue to build on that.
All right, sounds good. Jeff, we're going to let you go. Great job filling in. We appreciate it. Always fun to get the insights of the coordinators on this program. Have a great week of practice, and let's go get those Lions on Saturday night.
Heck yeah.
There you go. That's Jeff Bryant, Fort Hays State's offensive coordinator, as we talk some Fort Hays State football today on Tiger Talk from Horizon Appliance and Mattress. They have the lowest prices on kitchen and laundry appliances, Traeger grills, of course, mattresses, huge selection upstairs of all the mattresses, and, of course, the Traeger grills, the big appliances, the little appliances you need for your kitchen, washer and dryers, refrigerators, you name it. Start here if you're looking to upgrade. They've got something for everybody's needs at Horizon Appliance and Mattress, 1501 East 27th in Hayes. We're going to take another break. We're going to shift gears, talk some defense as Cooper Harris, defensive coordinator, will join us next here on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wertenberger Construction.
Horizon, the appliance and mattress store for you. Did you know sleep is the single most important thing you'll do today? Experts recommend replacing your mattress every 10 years. See the all-new Tempur-Pedic Breeze. It transfers heat away from your body, helping you sleep up to 8 degrees cooler all night long. Receive up to 48 months no interest and take home a $300 gift with purchase. Get the sleep you deserve. Horizon, the appliance and mattress store for you in Hayes.
Fort Hays State 5 of 8 on third down today. 4 receivers, one of them Tigner out of the backfield on the far right side. Now Hazlett will line up in the running back slot. It's going to be a shovel pass to Hazlett. Makes a man miss up the near side. He's at the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Fort Hays State. The shovel pass to Harley Hazlett for 33 yards. And Fort Hays State is back on top, 27-21 with 6:30 to go here in the third. Yeah, first touchdown of the third quarter, first of 2 for the Tigers, which saw them build a 2-touchdown lead and then give it up in the fourth. Washburn scores 17 unanswered. But, of course, as you know, Dante Brown, the game-tying field goal and then the game-winning field goal in overtime as the Tigers knock off Washburn Saturday, 41-38 in overtime. Welcome back to Tiger Talk. We are at Horizon Appliance and Mattress. Lowest prices on kitchen and laundry appliances, Traeger grills, a huge selection of mattresses. We are in the Traeger grill section again, and Christmas not that far off, and they've got a lot of great accessories for whoever you may have on your list who needs them. The grilling supplies, the rubs, the sauces, of course, Traeger, the Traeger wood pellets, or maybe a new Traeger grill. I mean, just throwing it out there if someone's listening. Upgrade would not be a bad Christmas purchase here from Horizon Appliance and Mattress. We're going to bring in defensive coordinator Cooper Harris now, and as we talk with Coach, congratulations. Had to just to feel good to get a win after a ball game, after a rough first 2 games to start this year.
Yeah, definitely. It was good to get a win finally, and we made it a little bit closer than we wanted to, and but definitely for the players, it was good to just get a win under the belt.
I haven't asked Chris this in a while, but we haven't had you on. The Washburn game is always, of all the games in the conference, the most interesting because obviously your association with Washburn, having been there, Coach Browns, Coach Dudley at Hayes, and Coach Watkins now back at Washburn, and just the relationships. It's so intertwining. It's a unique game every week when these two teams get together.
It is. I mean, there is so many overlaps as far as the coaching staffs go, and
I think you throw your wife in there. She worked there.
That's
she's
right.
in the athletic office.
Exactly. So, it's always fun to go back there and play those guys, but it is always different, because you're close friends with those guys, and it just creates a different feel for that game. But we definitely enjoy playing them, but there is a different feel for it.
It was nice to win there because we talked earlier in the program. 87 was the last Tiger win. That was by forfeit. 85 the last time they actually won a game at then it was still Moore Bowl. Now
Sure.
Yager Stadium, and for whatever reason, maybe the most difficult place, obviously not just for getting wins, but just feels like Fort Hays has never played well there. And felt like Saturday was a little bit different beast. You guys came to play and played well.
Yeah, I thought the guys played hard, and I wasn't aware of the record there, but Washburn is definitely always a tough place to go and play and get a win, so I was definitely happy that we were able to do that.
Defensively, I know they made a little push there at the end and got back in the game. I don't think it was all on the defense, but just felt like your guys were more physical and it's hard. There's some young guys playing for the first time. It seems like they're slowly growing up. That it was probably collectively for 4 quarters one of your better outings, I thought.
Yeah, I think so. I still don't think we put a full 4 quarters together defensively, but we do have a young or new defense, and it takes those guys some time to gel. But definitely the last two games we've seen an improvement on the defensive side of the ball, and they played a lot harder and a little bit more physical, and those are the kind of things that we kind of hang our hat on defensively. So it's nice to see that the last 2 games, they've kind of stepped up and done those things.
Big plays have been a bit of a problem. You look at Fort Hays State defense over the years. I mean, the physicality's there, bend but don't break, don't give up big plays, and that has kind of been a problem. Although a few less last week, and there was a big one in the fourth quarter that kind of let Washburn get back in it, but felt like you cut down on a lot of those big plays last week.
Yeah, we have cut down on them. Obviously, great defenses want to eliminate them, and like you said, that's something we've kind of hung our hat on the last few years is playing fast and playing physical and not giving up those big plays. And the nice thing we did see in that game is we created a lot more turnovers than we had in the previous 2, so that's a step in the right direction. But to get to where we want to be, we're going to have to eliminate those big plays.
Now, 3 interceptions in the game. You led the conference in takeaways a year ago, and you had 1 in each of the first 2, and unfortunately gave a couple of those back, but that is such a key and then you look not only the turnovers, and that's one area, I think it's 27-3 the Tigers have been outscored off of turnovers this year. Usually that's flipped the other way. If you can get that back in the direction and the I guess the format it had been in previous years, you still feel pretty good about getting on a roll here and finishing this thing strong.
Sure, yeah. Like I said, it takes those guys some time to gel, but we're seeing some progression, and if we can continue to create some turnovers and do a better job as far as not giving up those big plays, and then doing a better job defensively against sudden changes. That's an area I think in the first 3 games we've kind of struggled with, and as a defensive player, those are opportunities for us to step up, and we need to do that.
Big plays. It's nice to see Isaiah Creel-Musgrave get that interception, because Washburn converts that big 4th down in the overtime, and he slipped on the play. I mean, he was in a spot, and then he just, it happens sometimes, slipped on the turf, left their guy wide open, got it to the 10, and then comes right back the next play and makes a big-time pick. You jump the route, and kind of that mentality, okay, it didn't go well, you got to come back, game's still on the line, and he made a huge play.
And, those are things we talk about, and, we had a big 4th down there, and he gave that up, and the next play I was really proud of him. He stepped up and came back and made a great play, and that's just what great players do. And so I was really proud of him to see that happen.
It seems like he's getting better. I mean, he was a guy who was doing well in preseason last year, then had the knee injury and had to miss the entire season, and he's back. Sometimes I don't. It takes a lot of work coming off an injury. First to feel confident, then just to get back in the flow of playing, and a very good, talented player. And it just seems like he's getting more comfortable each and every week out there.
Sure. And, like you said, he's coming back off an injury, hasn't played in a year. And sometimes it takes those guys, a couple games to where they're feeling fully comfortable in what they're doing. And hopefully that's coming along with some of the other guys at other positions as well, and we'll continue to develop as a defense.
I'll talk more about the defense as we move along here. We're going to take our final break of the program and also get a little preview look at the Missouri Southern offense. When you watch them, they got some playmakers on that side of the ball, and there'll be a challenge this Saturday night at Lewis Field. Again, we're at Horizon Appliance and Mattress at 1501 East 27th and Hayes. Open 7 days a week. If you need a mattress, you need a Traeger grill, you need any kind of kitchen and home appliances, this is the first place to stop at Horizon Appliance and Mattress. We will take our final break right here on Tiger Talk along the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wertenberger Construction. It's the A Street Liquor Top Tailgate Contest on HaysPost.com. Show your Tiger Tailgate crew flashing the A Street Liquor Tailgate Cup, and you can win. Don't have a cup? Then get to 8th Street Liquor to get your tailgating supplies and get a cup for free. Okay, so you have the cup. Get to the game. Grab your crew, snap a picture, and enter on HaysPost.com. The picture with the most votes wins a prize from A Street Liquor. It's the Top Tailgate Contest on HaysPost.com by A Street Liquor, where the good times and tailgating start.
That was another legend on 99 KZ Country. And yes, before that, we had a brand new artist. Your home for today's stars and the legends. We play real country. I'm Teresa Trapp. Weather, news, sports, it's all here. We're on Facebook, and there is a listen live link at HaysPost.com. Dial us in on your radio at 99.5 FM. KHAZ, Real Country. 99 KZ Country.
Andrew J. the holder. Dante Brown to win it from a 30 yards out. Snap is good. There's the hold. The kick from Brown. It's got the distance. It is right down the middle. Fort Hays State wins it. Dante Brown, the game-winning 30-yard field goal. And Fort Hays State gets into the win column in 2019. 41-28. After giving up a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter, the Tigers get a field goal at the end of regulation, and they get a field goal in overtime, and they knock off Washburn. Yeah, 41-38 the final. Tigers with the victory, so they are now 1-2 on the year, getting set to take on the Missouri Southern State Lions on Saturday night. I want to ask you about the defensive line. I mean, it's been spoiled. We had obviously Nathan Shepard, before that C-Doe. And there's certainly some playmakers out there, but it feels like it's maybe a little bit deeper group, and you're able to rotate a few more in. Have you been happy with how they've played and their progression? Because they've got some youngsters
there
as well.
Yeah, I thought this past Saturday it was probably their best game. They did a very good job, dominating up front and, stopping the run, and that's something in years past, we've been blessed with, and it really helps the secondary when you're able to control the line of scrimmage. So, we do have a few more bodies there, and we're kind of able to do it more by committee now and trying to keep those guys fresh. So I did think they did a good job on Saturday.
And against the Washburn team that runs the ball pretty well and runs, I think they had 15 different players have at least one carry going into that game. And they've got some big, strong physical backs, so that's not always easy to do, but your guys answer the challenge.
Yeah, definitely. And that's something we talked to them about. And, we're very familiar with Washburn and what they like to do. And Coach Sherg, likes to establish the run. And so it opens up the passing game for them. And, so I thought that was the challenge for us defensively, and particularly the defensive line, was being able to control that line of scrimmage. And they did a very good job with that.
Guys you're close with, the linebackers, you're also the linebackers coach, and that's been a position, it's just been insert player here every year. It's a position you've been blessed with. And yeah. I thought Colt Traxel had one of his better games on Saturday, and just see Drew Harvey getting more comfortable each and every week.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we expect from Colt. Colt's been around, for 4 years, and this is kind of his years to shine, and he did a very good job for us. And then obviously bringing in a new player like Drew, who's very talented at the linebacker position, and he did some really good things in that game as well. So, particularly on that goal line stand. But he's a kid that wants to be a great player, and he'll continue to improve the longer and longer he is in our system. And I think sometimes, no matter where you come from, there's an adjustment period as far as learning the defense and fitting in. So hopefully we'll continue to see those good things from Drew as well.
Yeah, I don't think people appreciate that enough, whether it's a junior college transfer, four-year transfer, whatever level you've played on it. You just don't plug in and go right away. Exactly. There's a lot. We talked with Coach Brian about the offensive line, kind of dealing with some of those issues. There's a process and trust process and all those things that go into all that.
For sure. And you'd like to think it was just plug and play, but there is a process to it, and sometimes it takes some time to learn it. And the more comfortable he becomes in our defensive system, the more big plays you're going to see out of him.
All right, Missouri Southern on Saturday night. Much improved team, and we talked a little bit earlier. Jeff Sims won a national championship at Garden City Community College. He's got a lot of his former players, either that he coached last year or the year before, playing for him. They've got a transfer from Iowa State who started some games for the Cyclones at quarterback. Imagine as a defensive coordinator, you look at the game film, this is a scary opponent, maybe as athletic as there is in the conference.
Definitely. And, it's a different Southern team. And Coach Sims, does a very good job with his football program. And he's brought in a lot of skilled players. And if you watch them on film, they have talent, at all the skill positions. And, they have a quarterback that throws the ball well, and he's capable of buying himself some time and throwing it up to his receivers, and he has kids in those positions that can go up and make plays.
It'll certainly be interesting to see. It won't be your typical Missouri Southern team coming in. And is that a challenge for your players? Or they seem like pretty smart kids. They put that video in and see it and realize pretty quick this is not the Southern team they've dealt with in the past.
Sure, and I think that's, something we preach as coaches is, any team you face in the MIAA is going to be an opponent that you need to respect. And if you don't play your best game, anyone can sneak up on you. And, our kids will watch film and they'll see what they're up against. And like I said, it's a very talented football team. They have great skilled players and a quarterback that's able to spread the ball around.
Feels like the vibe on this team is good right now. Even though it was 0-2, maybe going from a little shock or stun at the start to, okay, we got a big game against Washburn, we got to play, and they responded. It just feels like they're poised to know if we just keep our nose to the grindstone, so to speak. We still got a chance to do a lot of great things this year.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, like you said, I think there's probably a little bit of a shock after the start and disappointment. But that's why, getting this win and the way we were able to win on Saturday hopefully gives us a little more confidence. And like I said, for defensively, I think, if we can put a full 4 quarters together, there are good things that are going to happen for us later in the year.
All right, sounds good. Cooper, we appreciate it. Always nice to get a little bit different perspective on it. You did a good job, as always. We'll see. Coach Brown may make you do it again this year. We'll see. But we appreciate you coming out here. Have a great week of practice, and good luck on Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. Cooper Harris. He is the defensive coordinator for the Fort Hays State Tigers as they get set to take on Missouri Southern. The Lions from Joplin will be in town on Saturday night. Of course, you can always catch the video replay of Tiger Talk. It is on Eagle Cable Channel 614 or 14 if you don't have the HD format. On Tuesdays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Of course, it's always online at HaysPost.com. You can hover over that Eagle TV icon on the top left corner, then click on Tiger Talk. And, of course, every Monday night at 6 right here on the Tiger Sports Network. The program is brought to you by the Hayes-Med Orthopedic Institute, all part of the University of Kansas Health System, the Taco Shop, Adams, Brown, Barron, and Ball, as well as Golden Bell Bank of Hayes and Ellis, BTI, and G&L Tire and Automotive, and, of course, the great folks here at Horizon Appliance and Mattress of 1501 East 27th in Hayes. Another night game Saturday, 7 o'clock kick from Lewis Field. We hope you're there. If you can't make us, join us on the radio. We'll be on the air at 6 for the Auto World pregame show. That'll wrap it up on Tiger Talk here on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wertenberger Construction.